Hey everybody, welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn.
Hey,
I'm Peter.
I'm Frank.
Alrighty.
I don't know why.
Today's, just because the thumb's got to go somewhere, Fonzie.
Whoa.
Alright. Today's guest is Eddie Murphy.
I'm sorry. That thumb's got to go somewhere, Fonzie. We put that under lines you never heard Pinky Tuscadero
when was the
say.
last time we heard that line? Ralph Malph may have said it a couple times, but that's about it.
Hey! All right. I'm sorry. What are we doing?
Eddie
Murphy. Yes. Hey, before we do that,
yeah, I know it's coming.
We know it's coming. We all know it's coming.
When
right
you
now.
got that finger.
So whoa. So anyway, my question for today is: there's always these in these movies. There's always like these cool parents. So
yes. Yeah.
Give me your parents. You were like, man, I wish those were my parents.
Wish
There's
they
some
were mine.
cool ass parents.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that
I wish they were my parents.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll let you start off with Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Tremendous.
Iconic. Tremendous. Icon. 40 years of this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And you cannot do... I loved his role in, Raw.
Well, you know what's funny is when we pulled his name out of the popcorn bucket, I started thinking, can we include that? No. I decided that wouldn't be the right thing to do. But let's face it, he does have, feature-length stand-up performances, which are fantastic.
Oh, and some of them, I don't know how well
would they hold up
today?
Yeah, who knows?
It's like 1993, just 1983.
1983
I was working in
there's a few of those.
Yeah, I was working in Dunkin' Donuts, and I would play that. And apparently, people did not think that was a great idea.
I wonder why.
When I would just tell people to hit the thing or get the fuck out. Anyway, you should see Raw because that's a funny Eddie Murphy movie. But your first choice,
Eddie Murphy, been with us for a good long time. Started off as a young comedian.
Yeah.
Still in his teens, but tremendous. And we got to know him from setting.
Made his way all the way to the SNL.
We got it. So he was there, and the people who watched the show knew who he was. But then he was able to make it into movies, and then another movie, and then all of a sudden, big time. Couldn't get bigger.
Yeah. Yeah,
he even had a singing career.
Yes!
My girl wants to party all the time.
God, that song is so awful.
And it got a lot of play on MTV
but it's a great, it's so awful. If you don't know this, folks, yes, Eddie Murphy put out a single, and it was huge, and it was played at my prom, and it was just, it's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't sing, but that song
is just an earworm that you'll cut your own head off.
You got it. You got it. Ooh. All righty. So he's able to make this transition, and then, boom, tremendous, like a force of nature. And so I'm going to go with one of those earlier ones, which I want to say... It's a second movie, maybe. It's just as people recognize him now. He's getting to be a big name. Trading Places.
Yes, fantastic movie.
Yeah, Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and
Jamie Lee Curtis.
And
I believe it's the first movie of Jim Belushi and Al Franken.
Al Franken and Franken and Davis, who used to be on Saturday Night Live, they've got bit roles in this thing too. Yes.
Trading Places.
and
great
two
movie.
two old stars going back to the 30s, Ralph Bellamy and Don Amici.
Yeah.
They're the two brothers. It's a wonderful, just a wonderful movie, and I think that Dan Aykroyd would probably say that this one helped his career because there was a really short amount of time, a very short amount of time that after John Belushi's death that people would only associate Dan Aykroyd with John Belushi.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like,
Yeah,
no,
they had
you
that whole
have to get
Blues
both.
Brothers
It's a
thing.
team. We have to hire
Yeah.
both. And so I think a lot of people were a little leery about trying to take a chance on Dan Aykroyd without John Belushi. So I think this one may have actually helped his career again. Not that it needed a kickstart, but
it was one of his.
It helped keep him going.
Solo, yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie Murphy's
he just gets to go.
He gets to go, and it's just fun. And you're like, there's some scenes where you go, I don't know if they could do some of this stuff the same way they did it back then.
Yeah.
Where he's like the legless homeless person.
Yep.
Who's out
Yeah,
he's on the street.
He's a con man.
And you say to yourself, could they even
I think I mean, he's a con man, so
I know, but still, he gets up.
I think it would work today. It would work today
Yeah,
because
it's a great sight gag.
Yeah, you're not supposed to trust him. He's just he's
a con man, and the one thing that I think we see in almost any Eddie Murphy thing is he's a fast talker.
Oh yeah.
When he wants to, he can ramble.
Yeah. Yeah. You think Vince Vaughn does the fast talk thing?
Still keep the comedy up, but just be going a mile a minute. And that's what he's good at. And he's a con man. And which plays in with his lot in life, which is not well to do at the beginning. And the opposite, the person who he's going to trade places with, of course, is on the other side of the fence, and that's the Dan Aykroyd character. They're both left to the devices, the whims of two powerful brothers who are actually make a game of their life.
Yeah, they're just gonna puppet master and play a game and all that. But I'll tell you, it's a really funny movie.
It's funny.
You're probably not gonna find a movie beyond like maybe The Big Short that goes into understanding complex financial systems. In Trading Places case, you learn all about commodities and how an orange juice crop can really make a financial difference. So and you get to see Jamie Lee Curtis as a hooker. So great.
It's great, and it's just fun. And that's his second movie, and so it's similar, but I think it's his supporting cast that's the big difference between that and his first movie is 48 Hours.
Yeah.
And so that's with Nick Nolte, who's just a fine actor and does a fine job. But I think he works better with this group of the supporting cast a little better, even more so. The other one had a little bit of a bite.
Well, because I think that they're all. I mean, like you got Dan Aykroyd, who's got comic chops. You've got You've got Ralph Bellamy.
Jamie Lee Curtis has timing. She's definitely got that.
Yeah, she's great. You've got the old timers who are
same thing.
Classic.
They got timing. You
so
can never really lose that.
Yeah, Nick Nolte, was funny and he was great, but he was basically Eddie Murphy's straight man in the whole thing. So he's the rough and tumble. It's like, wait a minute, what? What? Can we get Tom Waits in here to translate?
Yeah, please, too.
Please.
What is going on?
So, Trading Places. Good choice.
So
what do you got
that
next?
And the other one would be his next movie, the third movie, which takes him from superstar to megastar.
I know exactly
over
what
the
this is.
top. Just he was, if you're not old enough to remember, he was about as big as you can get
Yeah.
when Beverly Hills Cop
Oh
came
my
out.
God, this movie was huge. It's ridiculously quotable. It's a classic. It's so
his
good.
character his character is so big and brash and bold, which is what he plays many times, but
Yeah.
even more so. It's like cranked up even more. That character's so big that the song from the soundtrack is actually called Axel's Theme.
Axel's
And you
Theme.
hear it all the time, and it's in my head
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. Boom, 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 ba-da, boom, boom, and that's Axel's theme.
It's
And,
It was for a long time held the record for the highest grossing rated R.
yes, yeah, you're right.
movie,
You're right.
I believe, or
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ridiculously funny. It
yeah,
spawned
same-
2 sequels.
At least.
At least, yeah, they did 2. I don't think that they did 2 and 3. There's been talk for a million years of doing a 4
Oh, no,
if
yeah,
they
no, no.
haven't already.
So,
Yeah,
he
everyone in it
plays,
is
He plays,
great.
Axel Foley. He's a detective from Detroit who's, you can say, oh, it's the fish out of water thing, because now he's not just in L.A., he's in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills, so.
Which is the distinction why he's, so he's in posh hotels and which is
ultra
a whole-
clean police departments.
Yeah,
He's
the
constantly
police.
making comparisons between his department and the Beverly Hills one. He's just like, you guys here are so polite.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. You know?
It's a
Yeah,
great
it's a
one.
great
and he's
action
able to
comedy.
be it's a great action comedy, but he's able to just go all out.
But the
Just-
80s were like, you had a spate of those because you had the 48 hours thing.
Yeah.
You had Beverly Hills Cop,
Yeah.
where it's the sort of the funny cop comedy, buddy comedy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had the Lethal Weapon. You
Lethal
had
Weapon
Running
would be the next one.
Scared.
Yeah.
Remember that one with Billy Crystal
Billy
and
Crystal.
Gregory Hines?
Yes.
Which is a weird, it's like, oh,
That's a weird combo.
that's
but
a weird
it
combo.
worked.
But that movie so works. That movie's hilarious.
Yep.
And and Eddie Murphy was at the top of his game in that one, and the 2 sequels were actually kind of fun.
I mean, he got he was, when he was Saturday Night Live, he was the most popular at that of the cast that he was in, at whatever that was, 81 to something, 84, 5, whatever that time
Yeah,
period
because
was.
through like
That cast,
84, 85,
he's
86,
like-
like a weird, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. Robert Downey Jr.
He
was
was
in
like-
that cast, and
yeah,
it's hardly
it-
worth remembering.
yeah, but he
Julie
went-
Louis Dreyfus was
Julie
on there.
Louis
The only
Dreyfus
thing
was
she
too.
got out of that was a husband, Brad Hall.
So he's able to make that transition, which was not ready for prime time. Oh, he's prime time now. When he got to that one,
Yeah, he's really, really, really fun.
yeah,
in
and
that.
then he was able to like do anything he wanted. So if he did want to do a stand-up movie,
Yeah, okay,
just do
I'll
it.
go do that. That'll be fun
Yeah.
today.
And so he's just more of himself in that one.
Yeah.
Brash, fast talking, almost unbeatable. Like there isn't a moment where he's at a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just and it's like people ate it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
good
god, it was.
you know what I
it was
mean?
huge.
He came around for his style, his personality. The timing was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody
it
was
was good.
just, for the most part, just
Yeah.
so welcoming. They ate it up. Couldn't
Yeah.
miss. And so that one's up
All
there.
right. What's
Now,
your next one?
My third one is, and let's be honest, because he's been around for a while now.
He's
got
done
a
some-
lot to pick from.
Oh yeah, and he's got a lot of crap.
He's got.
Pluto
Yeah,
Dash.
I'm trying not to say the Pluto Dash or Norbit.
I
He
know.
does have some that you could say, wow, if you could sweep those under the rug, I would.
Yeah.
Because you don't want
nobody
it to
bats
be
a thousand.
reminded.
Nobody bats 1,000.
No.
For every Beverly Hills Cop, there is a Norbit. Or
yeah.
Pluto
No.
Nash.
Yeah. But so there are some out there that I would, tough to watch. But that's
Right.
But he's got some other good ones,
Yeah.
and some had to be pared away to get it down to 3, and he's got some other ones which would be dramatic. He's got some serious dramatic roles too. My third pick is not one of those. It's become to maybe another generation what they think of, if they do think of Eddie Murphy. It's Donkey from Shrek.
Shrek, yeah.
It's like you can. There are times when you're watching this movie, and the movie's great, the movie's fun,
Yeah.
It's got wonderful other personalities, but you can almost imagine Eddie Murphy or Donkey, either one of those two, right? Just being alone in a room and just going off.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It doesn't even matter if anyone's listening, and it doesn't even matter in the scenes if it's just Shrek and Donkey. Sometimes you get the feeling, okay, because of his character, that Shrek has kind of like turned him off already in his head, and it doesn't matter. Does he trail off a little bit? Yeah, sometimes, but it's like, no, he's still Donkey. He's just going to keep talking.
He's just going
to keep going. Stream of consciousness. Boom, boom, boom.
And I'm sure. I mean, there are a few actors out there who remind me, like the best at that, of just a director just going, you know what,
just do it.
Go.
Yeah.
The first one that comes to mind is Robin Williams.
Yeah, I was about to say the other one who could have gotten away with exactly the same treatment was Robin Williams.
I mean, and they did. I mean, they got Aladdin out of it. So,
yeah.
And then and Eddie Murphy, and I don't know, top of my head, who else you got?
I would say that maybe Jim Carrey and Billy Crystal, but they wouldn't have had complete free run like
I think that Billy Crystal could do it, but I think that it would end up falling into like several different bits.
I don't think he would have been as comfortable doing it.
I don't think he would have. And Jim Carrey, I think, would be more, if you let him go physically, he would go. But like physically, I think that that's more where kind of his comic thing. But to have someone at a microphone and just say, all right, go. Yeah. You've got Rob Williams. You've got Eddie Murphy.
It's a very short list. I would say it's just maybe those two, really.
I can't think of anyone more contemporary now that I would picture doing that. For some reason, Sarah Silverman comes to mind.
I don't know though if she would. Maybe. But,
so Mike Myers is another one who.
Yeah, actually, he could have been.
He could, and again, just going on their own devices. I mean, obviously, you've got like Seth MacFarlane who just does voices, and anybody from like Family Guy or The Simpsons could just riff. So I don't know.
But I enjoyed that thing because it's almost like that Donkey is just an animated Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not even like where when you watch Shrek, you get the feeling Mike Myers is trying an accent, so he's trying to keep that.
Yeah, he's working.
Exactly. He's working, staying in that character. Cameron Diaz, Fiona, same thing, just changed a little bit. Yeah. But with Donkey though, it's like
he just brings it up. It's a little higher pitch.
Yeah,
a little bit because he's so excited.
Yeah, and
Shrek.
And so I just love that performance. Now, whether we could argue, is that a performance or is it just Eddie Murphy just having fun? Either way, I do think it's a great performance. Yeah. I love it. He is having fun. We're having fun. It's a great little movie.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's animated, that brings just more people to the audience, I think.
Yeah. No, those are really good. Those are good. My three. God, Eddie Murphy has got so. He's got so much, and you're right. There is some serious stuff out there.
And I wasn't just like leaving it completely off.
Yeah,
it just those three were my three. That's all.
I'm gonna actually go with, in this no particular order, but I love him in Daddy Daycare, because he gets to. While he's very funny, a lot of the humor comes from him being kind of the straight man for the kids. I mean, one of my favorite shots in that movie is where it's his first day home alone with his son. The wife goes off to work, and his son is there just, eating his cereal, and Eddie Murphy's just sitting there looking at his kid, and his kid is just sitting there looking at each other. And it is just a great moment, because it's like you can just see all the possibilities right there. And the way, as a parent, that like your whole day has got so many possibilities, much in the same way that scene has got so many possibilities. It's such a touching, funny moment, and it's such a real moment. It's such a dad-kid moment. It's so great. And he's so funny in that. It doesn't get, thank God he's got Jeff Garlin there to be like the over-the-top clown, the one who gets stung by a bee, the one who's running around screaming like an idiot. Because Eddie Murphy is a little bit more reined in, and his humor is a little bit different in that. So he gets to avoid the responsibility of being the absolute, like, screaming like an idiot clown. He's got a guy for that. Great. So that's one of my favorites. I also really like him in Bowfinger. Yes, because he's playing two roles.
It's way up there on my list too.
And and the two characters in Bowfinger are the really high-strung, high-powered actor who's losing his mind, and he's very susceptible to these like cults who are going to help with his weird fantasies and his weird behaviors, and he's just like, I gotta show it to the Laker girls. And he's just like, you do not need to show that. They gotta see it. No, they don't. And then you switch to the brother who's just all kind of meek and quiet. Well, I'd be okay with cutting my own hair, but it's better if someone else does it.
Somebody else do it.
And he's just, it's really fun to see Eddie. It's always fun to see Eddie Murphy in a movie, but to see two Eddie Murphys in a movie, and again, you've got him working with Steve Martin, total classic. It's so he's just so funny in that, and he does this rant where he's just like talking about how everything has got like KKK in it. He's talking about Teddy Kennedy and how he really thinks that Teddy Kennedy is black. It's just like, just look at him. He's different. You're like, what is happening here? It's just, it's comedy gold.
It's gold.
So great. My third one went back and forth.
It's tough. It's very difficult.
It really is tough. I was kind of thinking about, Dolomite is my name. Because that was really, really great. A more serious role. Yeah. But my heart, I guess, movies are very visceral.
No, I know
they clamp onto your heart, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I do have to go with Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I really do. That to me is where Eddie Murphy became Eddie Murphy, and so I would have to take that. And we talked about how big he was. Everybody in 1984, 85 was doing the Axel Foley Lap.
The jackets.
Oh man, and it was, you know, everyone was doing the Bronson Pinochet, you know, it's just like doing a little espresso kind of thing, that whole thing.
Yes.
Like, there's so much in that movie that is just so, you got one of the Wayans brothers in there
Yes.
who sells them some bananas, you take those bananas, you know, and which is such a subtle scene, and it's just so, like, yep, can't do that scene now because it is just too much. But it was just really, really great, and it did propel him into being able to do whatever he wants. And yeah, looking at Shrek, and then you've got the Dr. Dolittle movies, and
He was in Dreamgirls.
Yeah, he was in Dreamgirls. You know,
Dreamgirls.
Yeah, so
name is Dolomite.
Just,
like you say, he's got.
There's almost like you want to do like okay, let's do a show where we talk about Eddie Murphy in the '80s. Let's talk about him in the '90s. Let's talk about him in the 2000s.
And you know the other thing is, stuff. If there were two other people on our panel, we'll say it's possible to have.
You get six other movies.
Six other movies.
Yeah. So, and even if you look at something like, you know, Pluto Nash or the, you know, Haunted Mansion, even the Haunted Mansion movie, which is so bad, but it's so campy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, Pirates of the Caribbean made a ton of movies. What are the rides we got? Put
Eddie
Murphy in a haunted house.
Make a movie after
so, and it's just so silly, and it's just like, oh, wait a minute, if this was 70 years ago, Don Knotts would be in this movie.
Yes.
So,
or when he does like the Nutty Professor stuff.
Yeah,
now he's doing like Jerry Lewis-y kind of
right. Yeah, exactly. And even that's a solid Eddie Murphy. That was kind of funny. It's not great. It's no flubber, but
yeah.
So
no,
but even his bad, like a Pluto Nash. Yeah, you throw your kid in front of a Pluto Nash. You got 2 hours to kill, right? You got 2 hours.
And the other thing is, it was great to see somebody who was talented, somebody who was young, but somebody who had a comedic background do so well.
Yeah,
and there's that time period, man.
But it was like SNL was just like a movie star factory. I mean, you had you know Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd coming out and doing movies,
but everybody left that first group, and then the second group came in, and it's like, what's going on? They kind of floundered maybe for a year, but then they were able to get Eddie Murphy was on that cast, and it's like
you had Al Franken, you had Kevin Nealon, you had so many people. I mean, God, we could do. You know, it's a Saturday Night Live show. Put that down. Corky, write that down. Yeah. We're going to do an SNL show. I think we actually did that bit once, but we did. Corky, write this down. We're doing an SNL show. So, Corky, take that out of your mouth. Anyway, so yeah, wow, that's really, Eddie Murphy, man. Awesome. So,
tremendous.
Movie parents.
Yeah. You asked the question.
Yeah.
About
who
would I
let?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll for that I thought of there are a couple, but there's another couple that I think I like better. I'll probably cross off the list right now. I would cross off Luke Skywalker's parents right off the list.
Not great.
No.
Well, but he had a broken home.
I know, broken home.
Absent father. His aunt and uncle did the best they could.
They tried their best.
They tried their best.
What can you do?
What are you going to do?
Farming,
That's
the way it goes.
So,
so I'm going to cross that one off.
Who wants a life of moisture farming? Who wants to spend their life looking for moisture?
It's crazy. All right.
Get that one past the censors.
All right. So I would say, what is
I don't know.
It's a prop.
I had stuff in there.
I know you had stuff in there. But the booze is all gone now.
I don't know. We should do a drunk episode. Like, really, we should get totally hammered.
Really do it.
Like, really do a drunk episode.
Yeah, okay. I'm up for that. Oh, how about if we do that Saturday Night Live one you just threatened? We can do that one drunk.
Yeah, okay.
In live.
Yes!
There we go.
We just, and it would be like 4 hours long.
Oh,
it's
it
like,
just, yeah.
People, someone's on Facebook flipping through. It's just like, oh my God, these idiots are still just.
Remember that episode? Oh, jeez.
At the very least, give us election results if we're going to be on watching TV for so long.
That's right, the Jerry Lewis Labor
Right?
Day
Seriously.
We got, we got, thank you.
All right.
So, movie parents, cool ones.
Luke's parents.
I do like, but it's not my number one. I do like.
You don't have to do 3.
We just did but we just did Elliot Page.
Yeah.
And her Juno parents.
Okay.
The father and the stepmother. Wonderful parents, but I do think right off the top, the
as
first
opposed
one,
to J.K. Simmons being a, like a band leader guy. Figure to him. He's not cool.
I'm gonna say probably in terms of just cool. They always had the right things to say. The delivery. They were snarky when they needed to be, supportive when they needed to be. Is Easy A.
Holy shit! Those were the ones.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Stanley
I
Tucci
am Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson. Yes,
those are the two that
those were the ones I was thinking of when I came up with this question. Yes, and I am not kidding. Those were the ones I was absolutely.
I'm
thinking
impressed.
Of. Seriously,
that we actually agreed on that one.
Oh my God!
That's great.
Yeah, that is an absolute.
That was the first one I thought.
This is not contrived, kids.
No,
I'm not that good at it.
We don't talk about this
seriously.
at all.
What the frick are the odds of that?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very good.
The portrayal of those parents who both, because you get parents who are like, really cool, but it's just like, hey, those are really cool parents, but I don't want them bringing up anybody's kids because they're way too. But they did a nice balance of showing these parents being concerned and kind of funny and human.
How they work together too. Individually, but as a couple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When the dad's at some point, it's just like, all right, when do we, need to be, concerned? She's like, I got it. He's just like, all right, just watching out.
Yeah.
So you knew that they still had their hand on the tiller. They were giving her some freedom, but just like
only so
here's
much.
your kid, and pragmatically, that's what you want to give your kids enough rope to feel like there's some independence there, but feel when just be ready to reel them in when
if needed.
Yeah, if needed. And I got to tell you, that's probably got one of the best lines. They have adopted an African American kid, and he mentions his adoption. And he's just like, they're like, who told you? We said we were going to do this together. And the kids are just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's as, I think, as good a portrayal of the cool parents as you can get in movies. And any other movie about teenagers, Juno's parents, they do a pretty good job of maintaining that balance.
But Easy A, though.
But Easy A, parents, most definitely. Wow, what are the odds of that?
I know, that's crazy. Because there's a lot of movies to watch.
That, when I thought of that question, I'm like, these
these
are the parents.
They are the best.
Yeah. All right. So wow,
that's amazing.
If you got movie parents that aren't the ones that we thought of, that you think are pretty cool, let us know what you think.
And let me just I'm going to throw this one in. I'm going to go really old. There's an old movie, say the 40s, Heaven Can Wait, which is not the one that was remade later. It shares the title, but that's it. So there's a movie, Heaven Can Wait, and we just mentioned Trading Places, Don Amici. Well, Don Amici is the star of this movie, but he's got a wonderful relationship with his grandfather in the movie, Charles Coburn, and I had an incredible relationship with my grandfather. So I always like that one because he's got a wonderful grandfather, and he's got a great relationship with him. So that I thought of that a little too, but as parents, you can't beat that Easy A combo.
You can't beat that. Wow. All right. Hey, let's do the thing. Oh, do we want to recap?
Oh,
Should
sure.
we recap? Let's recap.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, you had Trading Places,
Yeah.
Shrek, and Beverly Hills Cop.
And you had Beverly Hills Cop, and you had no, you didn't pick Dolomite.
Love Dolomite though. Great
Yeah.
movie.
So wait a minute, you had Beverly Hills Cop,
Yeah.
and yes, I'm stalling Daddy Daycare,
Yeah.
and I am still stalling for time. What did you have? You had, my goodness.
This is really fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bowfinger.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have thought of that one because
So-
that was
so
actually
let's-
that was like one of
Yeah.
that was like the fourth one.
So
and
let's
almost
do
made
this
it in.
again. So.
Why bother? Okay.
All right.
yeah.
All right.
So
So-
your three were
So, yeah. So, hey, let's recap and then we'll do the bucket. So, go ahead. My three were, let's see if you were listening.
your three. You had we agreed on Beverly Hills Cop,
Yep.
and then you went with Bowfinger,
Yep.
and Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, very good. And you had Trading Places and Shrek and Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
So, we didn't mention Coming to America, and they did a sequel of that recently. too,
Very recent.
which I did not see. I had no intention of seeing it. I thought Coming to America was perfectly fine.
You didn't need to
Leave
do
it alone.
You didn't need to do
Oh,
it.
good.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
Great. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right, cool. Who's
I don't know who we got.
Stop. We're running out. We gotta make more. All right, cool.
Let me see who we got here. Alrighty.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Very good.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking us out on Instagram and for checking us out on Facebook. And if you can't stand these silly mugs, just get the podcast. Listen to us while you're at the gym, so you can associate the pain of working out with the pain of listening to us. That really didn't land the way I thought it
No.
would. Anyway, all right, folks. We'll check you out next time. Thanks so much, and that's it. Bye bye.